to license the...
Meep, meep.
Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Matchbox Makeovers. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a Matchbox 1962 Volkswagen Beetle. It's pink, and it has flowers on it. Oh boy, is all of that ever going to change today. It's the most popular car ever made, with 21,529,464 of them produced. This one is my entry in the Three Blind Mice Gaslands Invitational. So I want to say thank you to the mice for sponsoring this, and I'll put a link in the description below so you can watch all the videos from the different builders and their concepts on what this is going to be. The theme is Gaslands, and I don't know much about Gaslands. I've seen a couple of Mad Max movies, and I get the concept. It's a post-apocalyptic world, and cars are weaponized. They look like they've been through a war, and so this is going to be a weathering job today, and I'll do my best on this, my very first Gaslands vehicle. Sorry about that, Herbie. I'm not even going to reuse this windshield that I just removed. You'll see what I do in a couple of minutes, but I have a boneyard drawer of different parts and wheels and leftovers, and that's where it will go. Nothing gets thrown out from my hobby bench. Couple of drops of oil and a 2mm drill bit take care of the posts, and I always at this stage clean them up so things fit back together nicely, and a couple of 256 screws go in. I'll leave them there during all of the paint stripping and building it back up. And I'll show you a couple pictures of different concepts throughout this video so you can see the imagination that is, you just let it go wild on this build and be as creative as you want to be. And my hope is you can't really make a mistake, because there's no right way to do it. So it's going to be my concept. Even though this was new in the blister pack, I still wash things up. It's just for my own personal peace of mind. And as I say, the windshield will get reused, so might as well give it a spiffing up at this point. I'm going to do some 3D printing of some parts, and I've also found other bits and pieces elsewhere from my different boxes of cars. These are 3D printed leaf springs that I'm quite proud of. Printer's new, and I'm still learning how to scale things up and down and print with total success, but these are going to be the bomb. But I need to do a little bit of styrene work first, just so they are well affixed to the base of the model. And that's not too hard to do in this case. There they are. I put a drive shaft in between them as well for a little bit of authenticity. Mine's gonna kind of look like that one with the big lift kit. At least that's what I'm going for. Off with the pink. Farewell to the flowers. Is never going to look the same again. I'm down to the bare metal now, and I do a test fit of the base with the new leaf springs on. And I'm looking it over, trying to decide about the front and the rear bumpers and what will look great. And besides 3D printed parts, I always do look through the boneyard drawer, and here I found an old Siku trailer with some kind of claw lift hook on it, and I decided that rear gate would be perfect to protect a rear-mounted engine on my little Beetle. The date is fast approaching of the 1-year anniversary of my YouTube channel and also 1,000 subs. I'm inviting all my online friends to participate in an invitational all Porsche build-off. The Beetle is the grandfather of the Porsche, and the only little catch on my invitational is that everybody gives their car away. So sign up and leave a comment below and let me know if you're in. Already there are 30 different people. I'm blown away by the outstanding response. It's going to be fun. Here I'm trying a new technique just with some household tinfoil that I've crinkled up. I'm going to apply that with super glue, and I'm going for a crashed fender bender look here. Like this car has been rolled on one side, and it's also taken some cannon fire. Like I say, you can't really make a mistake here. It's all up to your imagination. The paint job is simply a metal primer today, and I'm doing that both on the metal body and the plastic base, as it has now grown with the addition of the rear fence and the suspension underneath. And all of my weathering is going to be done with Vallejo paints. I know there are lots of different techniques, and there's a multitude of specialty powders and paints and applications that you can use. I'm just not quite there yet, and this is my very first one. I weathered a van a couple months ago. In fact, it was a VW van, and so this is my second try at weathering, and just bear with me as I experiment and try to give it a nice patina and a weathered look. Now right now it's kind of shiny silver, but I'm going to put a black wash on everything and take that down a notch. Here I'm just trying to focus on the door lines and the shot lines and essentially provide a little bit of a shadow, quite subtle. And my palette today is basically yellow, brown, orange, red, a little bit of dark blue being applied to give me the rustic look that I'm going for. The Beetle, which is officially the Volkswagen Type 1, informally in German the Käfer, meaning beetle, in parts of the English-speaking world the bug, and known by many other nicknames and other languages, is a two-door rear-engine economy car intended for 5 occupants originally. Later, Beetles were restricted to 4 people in some countries. It was manufactured and marketed by German automaker Volkswagen from 1938 until 2003. The need for a people's car, which is Volkswagen, literally, in German, its concept and its functional objectives were formulated by the leader of Nazi Germany, Adolf Hitler, who wanted a cheap, simple car to be mass-produced for his country's new road network, the Reichsautobahn. Lead engineer Ferdinand Porsche and his team took until 1938 to finalize the design, and the result was the first Volkswagen and one of the first rear-engine cars ever. Here I'm applying some Citadel Nuln oil. It's a black wash, and you can see how effective this is at the weathering technique and adding some depth and 3D appearance to some of these deep shadows and a little bit of a worn out look. The windshield, which was removed, is now being replaced by screen, which I am affixing using this new Bondic resin pen. It squirts out a little bit of resin, you flip it around, and it has its own UV light, which you apply just for 4 or 5 seconds to set the resin. I found some different colored fine electrical wire in my junk drawer, which I twisted around a toothpick, and I'm going to use this as kind of a remote operating cable to work the top-mounted turret and machine guns. And also from the junk drawer is a military chopper, which I'm not likely ever going to restore, but it's got some impressive weaponry on the sides, which goes impressively well with today's concept and assists in any kind of parking situation. And I assembled everything bit by bit and did up the wheels and got them nice and mucky and muddy, and here's what we've got. Some 3D printed parts, some scavenged from the boneyard. I got exactly the kind of patina that I was going for, starting with that Rust-Oleum primer. Here's a 3D printed impaling device on the front. And those pipes on the other side, you use your imagination. They're some kind of flux capacitor or nitrogen conversion system. Maybe it's post-apocalyptic air conditioning. You use your imagination. If having fun is the name of the game, then I was tremendously successful on this build. What a fun time. I took this Beetle from flower power to awesome firepower. Looking good. All lifted up with high ground clearance and all kinds of weaponry in its arsenal. Nice patina. That's my first Gaslands build. It's not kid friendly, so it'll go to an adult collector. Won't even fit in my blister pack, it's so high. Thanks again to the Three Blind Mice for sponsoring this creative invitational. I'll put a link in the description. Check out all the other builds that take place. Thanks for visiting here today. Come on back again and often. It's coffee time.